Hello, welcome back to another episode of Spotlight on the Library. I am Miss Noakes, your John Muir teacher librarian, and today we're going to talk about copyright. Oh, it's a good, exciting topic and very important, especially as you guys scholars start your research. So let's go and look into this topic a little bit more. Any type of academic dishonesty, including but not limited to cheating, plagiarism, submitting work done by another as your own, or using unauthorized technology is prohibited. All students are expected to complete their own academic assignments and examinations. A student violating the academic honesty policy is subject to disciplinary actions which can include, but is not limited to, point deduction, or 0 points on assignment, lower grade, detention, Saturday school. Teacher may decline to write letter of recommendation or report dishonesty in a letter or rescind a recommendation that's already been submitted. What that means is that SFUSD, as a school district, tries to make sure that people do their own work. So, plagiarism is the idea that you are copying someone else's work or creativity or things that have been produced before. You're not making your own work. Let's look at these two houses. They're both houses, but they're both different. They have similar features, but they're not the same. And that's the same idea with plagiarism. If I look at a book and I copy every single word, I am using someone else's ideas. That is plagiarism. If I take a song that is famous and I sing it in the exact same way with the exact same music, that is plagiarism. Plagiarism is copying. And basically, think of it as taking words from something, a book, song, music, taking something, and then using those words and pretending that they are your own, as if you made them up opposed to somebody else. That is plagiarism. And it's something that we'll talk more about when we do our research reports and why it's important to know that it's important to know that we want ourselves to make our own ideas and to add to the creativity out there. Let's look at this picture I made last summer at the public library. So when we're thinking about copyright, we have to think about what it actually means. Copyright refers to the legal rights of an original work. Copyright protects ideas and original works. There are laws and regulations to follow. The idea behind copyright is that we give credit to whomever made something. As a teacher librarian, I have to help you understand how these materials, sources, and books we learn from are copyrighted and how we can protect that. We learn by adding our own ideas, not by simply copying. So let's look at this picture I made. This is not actually copyrighted because I did not go through that process. It's a legal process. But the idea is if I did copyright it and I made money off it, then it would be protected so other people couldn't use my artwork. What is actually protected under copyright? Well, movies, books, songs, music, architectural works, meaning buildings and building plans, choreographic works, which is dance and movement, and art. These are some of the elements that are considered copyrighted. Under copyright laws, there's special consideration for education and using copyrighted works to help kids and students learn. So don't worry, you won't be in trouble if we are using copyright in the correct ways. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Spotlight on Your Library. Today we learned about copyright and plagiarism, just a little bit. Both of these topics are very complex, and we'll be learning about them a little bit more in depth as the year goes on. But it's important to think that there are laws to protect people's work. So that is the big takeaway for copyright and plagiarism. Well, thanks for joining me, and I can't wait for another episode of Spotlight on the Library.